Psalm 62 and verse number 8. Psalm 62 and verse number 8. Notice what the scripture says. Trust in him. And if you read the previous verses, it's clear that the him in the text is referring to God. It is referring to the Most High, the Almighty One, the omnipotent one, the omniscient one, the omnipresent one. And so the psalmist is admonishing the people of God that when it comes to him or to God, trust him at all times. You people, pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. Let me read it again. Trust in him at all times. You people, pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. I need to trust him at all times because he is a refuge for us. Notice he's a refuge. Psalms 20 and verse number 8. Keeping in mind that when it comes to God, we need to trust him at what? All time. Need to trust him at what? All time. Need to trust him at what? All time. Notice this. Psalm 20 and 7. Some trust in chariots and some in horses. But we will remember the name of the Lord our God. They have bowed down and fallen, but we have risen and stand upright. Some trust in chariots, some in horses. Notice the distinction. But we will remember the name of the Lord. We're going to be different. We're going to be different. Those who trust in the chariots, those who put their trust in horses, have bowed down and have fallen. An illusion to people who don't trust God at all times, being defeated. Understand, because when he talks about the people who are trusting in the chariots or in the horses, he's saying that they do so in times of warfare. When they're in a battle, they're trusting in what they have or in what they can do. Notice it is a distinction. Some, not all. Some will have the chariots, will possess the horses, but won't trust in them. In the day of battle, they will trust in the Lord. Why? Because everyone who fails to trust God will be defeated. But notice what he said. But those who trust him, notice what he said. It's a wonderful promise. If I'll trust him at all times, it comes with a promise. He said they have bowed down and fallen, but we have risen and stand what? Upright. That's a symbol of victory. That's a symbol of victory. Nobody that trusts God at all times going to be defeated. You're going to be victorious. You're going to rise. You're going to stand as a conqueror. Are y'all listening to me? But what is the key? The key is to trust him at all times, even during battles. You can be in a battle, but you still need to trust God at all times. Oh Lord, I got to teach to some folk who are in a battle. I got to teach to some people who are in warfare. And in warfare, you need to trust God. Based upon all that, look at somebody and tell him or her the subject this morning. Trust God at all times. Oh, I need you to look at one more person and just tell him or her, trust God at all times. Now shout it to one person, tell them, say, trust God at, finish it. At when? When? Sometime. Every now and then. On Monday. Trust God when? All times. Let's give him a praise for the subject. Trust God at all times. Again, I have an assignment to teach to some folk who are going through some battles. I need to talk to somebody this morning that's dealing with something, going through something. Again, could be in a number of areas, but God gonna speak to people who are in a battle. And there may be some that can say, well, Pastor, you know, I'm just not in a battle, but I'm in one of the greatest battles that I've ever been in. Or I'm in one of the greatest battles that I've been in some time. And we need to know what to do when we are in a battle. The thing to do is to trust God at all times. We need knowledge and understanding that when it comes to God, he alone is the only one that we should trust at all times. Listen to me. There is never a time to doubt God. There's never a time where we should doubt God. God is never to be doubted. Never doubt God. You say, but Pastor, it looks bad. Yeah, but never doubt God. Trust God when it looks good, but also trust him when it looks bad. Trust God when it sounds good, but trust him when it doesn't sound so good. Trust him at all what time, and never doubt God. Never doubt God. Look at somebody and say, never doubt God. Never doubt God. Ooh, I need that to get in somebody. Shout to another person. Never doubt God. Somebody shout, period. End of discussion. Never doubt God. I don't care what's going on. Never doubt God. I don't care what problem you bring me that you're going through. My message to you will always be the same. Never doubt God. How did you get there, Pastor? He taught me that he is one to be trusted. I said he taught me that over the years. He's allowed me to go through things, and he's taught me to never doubt him. He has allowed me to sit back and watch others go through things, only for him to bring them through it better than how they went in it. And he had me watching them for a reason, to say to me, never doubt me. Never doubt me. I've seen saints go through things that would have broke a normal person. Some of you have been through things that would have put a normal person in a mental institution. But here you are today, still standing, because you learned to never doubt God. Come on, some of y'all ain't getting excited, but I'm excited about that. Never doubt God. Never doubt God. Pastor, they saying it's over, but has God said it was over? If you ain't received that memo from God, don't you doubt him. Don't you doubt. He'll let you know. He'll let me know when it's truly over. But if you ain't got that from God, don't doubt him. Don't doubt him. This is somebody's rhema. Never doubt God. Never doubt God. Never doubt God. Why am I stressing it? Because somebody is doubting God, wondering if he can do what he said he would do. Wondering if he'll come through. Wondering if he'll make good on his promises. Never doubt God. Never doubt God. I'm so serious about this that I'm going to break down never. Some folks don't understand what never means. Because if I don't break it down, you'll get it in you today, but will it be in you tomorrow? That you are to never doubt God. Listen, I come to tell y'all things happen sometime. We don't often like to admit it, but it often catch us by surprise. Don't try to tell me everything happened in your life. You saw it coming. No, you didn't. I've had things take place in my life that I didn't see that coming. I didn't know I would have to go through that. I didn't know the battle would be that intense. But again, he taught me, never doubt me. And God will take you through some things. I say he'll take you through some things that you'll come out with a knowing that one thing I'm not going to do is doubt God. Never doubt God. Let's break down never. Number one, the word never has to do with on no occasion. On no occasion. I said on no occasion should you or I doubt God. On no occasion. Number two, not ever. Don't ever let it happen. Never doubt God. Not ever. Finally, not at all. There should be no doubt in us when it comes to God. When it comes to God, there should be no doubt. Now listen, because every one of us are going to face some battles. I said every one of us going to face some battles. Some greater than others, but no doubt every person in here under the sound of my voice, you are going through some things. You're going through some battles. Sometimes we're going to battle in our bodies. Somebody know that to be true. There are going to be days in your body, even as an older person, that when it just comes to the body, you feel 20 years younger. Come on, y'all ain't never been there to where in your body you feel that good. Hadn't ran a sprint in a while, but you can feel so good in your body that you feel like if I just had to, I could just take off running. Have you ever felt so good in your body that you wasn't necessarily on any type of exercise plan, but you felt so good in your body, you said, I'm going to walk the block today. You felt that good, well, in your body. And those are days to be cherished. Come on, I said those days are days to cherish, especially the older you get. To where you normally wouldn't pick up something. But today I know I can lift this. I'm feeling that good in my body. But tell your neighbor, hold up. Because there will be days where you're battling in that same body. Don't feel from a natural standpoint that you can do certain things because of how the body is battling. But even in that moment, you have to learn to trust God and not your doctor. He didn't never tell you to trust the doctor at all times, yet some of us do. He said that we ought to trust him at all times. Trust God when your money is long, but trust him when it seems short. I know I'm teaching right. We ought to trust him at all times. The key, in my opinion, biblically speaking, to winning and losing is found in trusting God at all times. Listen, because God will let you face some battles that he has wrapped victory. He has disguised victory in a battle. I need to break that down. I said he has disguised victory within a battle. It didn't look like when David got to the battlefield that would be the day he would be promoted, exempt from taxes and given a wife. But see, God had disguised victory in what looked like defeat. I'm telling some of you, what you are battling, God has victory disguised. Oh, Lord, I know in that battle, there's something you gonna gain from this battle. There's something you're coming away with when the battle is over. That's the reason he ordained the battle. God had never ordained a battle for his people to lose. Listen, because I'm going to say some strong stuff today. Because biblically speaking, you can find nowhere in biblical history where God ever lost a battle. If you can show it to me, I'll change my stance. God has never lost. God has never lost. I said he has never lost. But I need to give you some news. Guess who my daddy is? Guess who my real daddy is? If God has never lost, and you are his child, his son, his daughter, why are you identifying with losing? Something that your father knows nothing about. Again, he disguises victory in defeat. There are things you'll go through when people looking at you go through it, they think you lost. He did all that talking, but look what he's going through now. Aha, where's his God now? When Jesus hung on the cross, there were certain spectators that just knew this is the man that promised to do this, this, and this, and said this, this, and this, but now he crucified. They defeated him. But see, we know that the cross represents suffering, but it also represents victory. Because on the cross, Jesus defeated death for our sake. Come on. God has never lost a battle. Never lost a battle. And whenever you see his people losing a battle, listen, they did so because they got out of his will. Because it's never his will for you to lose. I said it's never his will for you to lose. Now you don't look at trials as losing. This is the reason James said, count it all what? Joy. When you fall into what? Various trials. Trials, when I go through trials that are ordained or permitted by God, that ain't losing. Trials are beneficial. Whoa. Trials are beneficial. Trials are beneficial. But why do so many Christians identify with losing? And most identify with losing. They form a connection with losing. Listen, when they're battling. Most of the time when you see a Christian thinking, talking, or doing wrong, they're in a battle. They're going through something. And instead of trusting God in that moment, they lean to their own understanding. And when we do, we enter into defeat. Because we start trusting in self more so than God. And then we form a connection with losing. And then when you get accustomed to losing, you look for it. You expect it. That's when some of you, when battles start, you get depressed. Why? Because you have made a connection with losing. When the battle is ordained for promotion, the battle is ordained for advancement. That's when you hardly ever hear a child of God, when everything is wonderful, identifying with losing. Oh no, man, everything going their way. They are happy, they bragging, they boasting on God, they talking about how good he is, they talking about how he'll come through, how he'll never fail. They letting other people know, look, you can count on God. Look, I'm telling you right now, always trust God. Oh yeah, see, it's wonderful for you. But see, we need that same talk. Come on, we need that same attitude even when we are in a battle. Don't change on God. See, if you're in a battle, don't change on God, because God will never change on you. He gonna be who he is. It don't matter how many folk line up against you. It don't matter what the situation may look like. If God has deemed you blessed, then you blessed. I said, then you blessed. I said, if God said about you that you blessed, man cannot curse what God has blessed. He can't do it. If man could do it, we'd be cursed this morning. We'd be down this morning. But we are what? We are up. We are triumphant. We are winners. No matter what I go through, I'm making a connection with winning. Don't matter what it look like. For we walk by, not by. When you start walking or living by sight, you making a connection with losing. Pastor, I'm just looking at how everything looked. Who told you to look at how everything was looking? Look beyond that. Look to what God has said. Think on what he has spoken to do. Losing is when you experience unnecessary defeat or loss. Unnecessary defeat or loss. And see, some of us who are in a battle, because we are not trusting God, we're not getting the victory the way he wants us to get the victory. It's not happening on the level that God wanted to be on. Are y'all hearing me? It's not on the level he wanted to be on. Well, Pastor, I mean, you know, with everything going on, I'm just happy to be able to say that somehow we just barely holding on. You think that's what God wants for you? You think God wants you to be to the point where you just barely holding on? Just hoping, Pastor, they continue to pay me. That you should be to the point where if they stop paying you, you know who you trusting in. If the check don't come, he can allow another check to come. God knows how to take care of his people. You don't have to suffer unnecessary defeat. Why am I teaching like this? Because for years I suffered unnecessary loss. I was experiencing things that God didn't want me to experience that. See, every experience is not what God had planned for you. But when we fail to trust him, we get on the wrong path. Come on, and start experiencing things that we really shouldn't experience. This is the reasoning behind why you see some saints winning and others losing. It has to do with where your trust is at. And see, anytime we are experiencing unnecessary defeat or loss, God is going to send correction. He's going to send correction. Now listen before I deal with this, because it's important. He's going to send correction. Woe to the person who's experiencing defeat and loss, but God has stopped correcting them. See, that's saying you've gotten stubborn. That's a bad place to be in when God is no longer correcting you.
Thank you for watching the Making People Productive broadcast with Pastor Leonard D. Cochran of A Place of Refuge, Noonan. To order your copy of today's message, please call the church office at 770-252-3855 and reference the message number listed below. We want to hear from you. If you have been helped, strengthened, or encouraged by the word, let us know. Also, don't forget to connect with us on all of our major social media platforms to receive exclusive information and updates with all things Refuge Noonan. A Place of Refuge Noonan is located in the city of Noonan, Georgia. If you would like to visit us, our worship times are every Sunday at 10:15 a.m. on location and live at 10:45 a.m. We also have service every Wednesday at 7:15 p.m. via Facebook and YouTube Live.